easy for you just to take the talents and skills you have and focus on taking care of you, and be all about you. But immediately from out the gate, you were thinking about ways to inform and empower others as well as entertain. So I mean, I appreciate what you're doing. And tell me a little bit more about the organization.
Well, let me just start right here before I go into the organization. Multi-level marketing was something that hit the black community like a storm. There was the prepaid legals, there was the travelers, ACN, and all those things, and I tried those things. They never worked for me, but I understood the concept of how you bring people in, you get tapped into their network. You bring another person in, you get tapped into their network, so all of our networks become combined. So the Poet organization adopted that multi-level marketing concept, and as I began to bring artists and other people that I work with, we began to tap and touch into each other's networks, which expanded all of us and made all of us grow. 1990, I became a vendor with the Board of Education, and I began touring high schools, grammar schools, and colleges, and became well respected in the Chicago public school system with someone who had an assembly that the children would actually enjoy. And that was my issue when I was in high school. I attended at boring assemblies where maybe police officers would come in, or lawyers would come in, or doctors would come in, but they never grabbed my attention. And I understood that music was a way to tap into the ear and to the minds of young people. They could listen to the radio and repeat a song, but not know their school curriculum. And so if we could reach them with music, arts, entertainment, poetry, hip-hop, then we can actually teach them through that vehicle of music. So here we are, 23 years later. Poet, which started in the Inglewood community on the south side of Chicago. Now we're in 7 different states. As far as chapters, we have 7 chapters throughout the United States, over 100 members in 3 different countries. And we're all doing the work of going into the homeless shelters, the juvenile detention centers, the battered women's shelters, the schools, and just reaching out to those who are disenfranchised, those who have no hope. We inspire, we motivate, and we encourage all those who we go before.
Man, that's excellent. And tell a little bit about some of the response you get from the people that you touch. How do they receive the message?
It's incredible, because no matter where I go, whether it's Jamaica, Aruba, Mexico, anywhere throughout the United States, and you guys can go and check this out on YouTube. One lady came up to me, or one young lady came up to me after I had spoke. We did a program at a school. She said, "If you had only been here a day earlier, maybe my friend might not have committed suicide." And so when you hear things like that, you know the power of life and death is in the tongue.
That's right.
And so we speak life into the hearts and minds of the people. And we encourage them and let them know that we are no different from you. We have suffered loss. We have gone through things. We have been in battered relationships, divorces. Some of us have been molested or raped. We got different members of the Poet organization. Some are alcoholics and drug abusers. But today they're giving their testimony to other people of how they got beyond it with God's help.
Wow, that's excellent. Beautiful. And I know probably part of this is a reason for your entry to want to do something in the political area. You know, we look and we see what's happening in the community, and you see some of the resources and how they are being misused, and you want to go in and help and make a difference. So talk a little bit about, you know, the political aspect as well, and really the relation, because some others follow in your footsteps to, you know, go into that arena as well.
Absolutely. Well, in 1993, I opened my first business. It was in the Inglewood Mall on 64th and Halsted, and I began to open several businesses throughout the South Side. 79th and Damon and Loomis, I had a store called DeAndre's No Limit, which was the most popular stores. But that led me to gain the capital and the financial resources to do what was shortly to come after that, which was to bid for a political position in the city of Chicago. What I did not know, and I had heard, but when you run for politics, it's a very dirty game. I ran for alderman in the 17th Ward against Alderman Latasha Thomas, who had been appointed to that seat after the vacancy of Terry Peterson, who at that time had been appointed to the CHA.
Right, I remember.
Well, I did not know that because this incumbent alderman, Thomas, who was appointed by Mayor Daley, that she would have the weight of her office behind her. So not only did I run against her, I was actually running against the weight of Mayor Daley also at that time. And there were several things that I experienced, different things from my car being towed, my phone being tapped, and private investigators following me around the city of Chicago just to see if they could find anything on me. And I had a wonderful campaign manager by the name of Bruce Crosby. Bruce Crosby, that's right. He taught me the technical part and the numbers of running for alderman. And although, just like our president, who got his first political office as senator by challenging the opponents, their signatures to run, I was challenged also with my signatures, but because I had wonderful teachers and counselors, I was able to get past those challenges. However, I did not win the alderman race, but the victory for me was to get involved in the political process, because in return I was able to bring up issues that had long been ignored and bring that to the forefront.
Yes, I remember that.
Absolutely.
And that's a beautiful